Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Destiny has led you to this moment because everything you've been through is guiding you to something truly extraordinary. Congratulations on the incredible transformation you're experiencing right now. This change is going to shape every part of your life. But today, I'm not just talking about the success you're building or the abundance that's on the way to you. I'm talking about something even deeper, something much more personal. Love. This is the kind of love that will leave you breathless, the kind that awakens something inside you that you didn't even realize was waiting. It might come as a surprise, but trust me, it's about to sweep you off your feet. And the best part? This is not a fleeting emotion. No, this love will make everything you've been through worth it. If you're wondering if this message is for you, let me reassure you, it absolutely is. I feel it in my bones. Whether you're in a relationship or single right now, the love that's about to enter your life is something you've never experienced before. If you're already in a relationship, prepare for it to evolve into something deeper and more beautiful. Now, I know some of you might be resistant to this. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm not looking for love. I just want to focus on my career, on my goals. I hear you. I truly do. You've got big dreams and the drive to make them happen. But what if I told you that you don't have to choose between love and your goals? The universe is bringing you a love that will fit perfectly into the life you're building. Right now, you're entering a new season. It might feel like everything is falling into place, and that's because it is. But what's happening on a deeper level is that you're finally giving yourself permission to open up. You've spent so much time feeling stuck, almost like you were walking through quicksand. But now, the energy is shifting. It's as if a door is opening before you, allowing you to see life through the eyes of a child once again. The world is becoming more vibrant, more alive, and you can start to appreciate the beauty in the small things again. There's something powerful happening as you embrace this new energy. You're aligning with your divine feminine energy. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about gender. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us, and right now, you're tapping into that open, receptive side of yourself. I can hear you now, but I've always been independent. I don't need anyone's help, and I get it. You've become so used to doing things on your own that it might feel uncomfortable when someone offers to support you. But here's the thing. This love that's coming is going to gently but firmly break you out of that independent shell. You'll realize it's okay to let others in, not just to help, but to love you, to support you in ways you never expected. And here's the magic. It won't take away from your independence. Instead, it will enhance it. I know what you've been through. You've given so much of yourself to others, your time, your energy, your heart. And in return, you've often been met with emotional unavailability or rejection. It's left you wondering if you'll ever get the love you truly deserve. But let me tell you, this is not your fault. There's a deep-rooted pattern at play here, possibly going back to your childhood. Maybe you had a parent who made you feel like you had to earn love. Or maybe you were taught that love is conditional. But here's the truth. You've always been enough, just as you are. And now, because you've learned to love yourself without needing anyone else to validate you, you're opening yourself to a love that will match that energy. This new love isn't about proving your worth. It's about allowing love to flow naturally, without fear of it disappearing. It's about trusting that this love will grow with you, supporting all that you are. You're no longer seeking love to fill a void. You've learned that love starts within. The moment you accepted that truth, everything shifted. And now, because of that inner transformation, the universe is aligning this beautiful love for you. This love will teach you how to surrender to its presence, to allow it to be as it is, without trying to control it. You won't need to perform for it. You won't need to be anything other than your authentic self. This person will love you for exactly who you are, and that's something truly extraordinary. Now, let me take a moment to ask you something important. Have you ever felt the weight of trying to be something you're not, just to be loved? I think you know what I mean. Maybe you've been in a relationship where you felt like you had to perform, to put on a show, just to feel accepted. Maybe you've held back pieces of yourself, thinking that if you revealed your true self, it would push someone away. But here's the beautiful thing about this new love. It's not going to ask you to perform. It's going to love you for exactly who you are, all of you, the good, the bad, and everything in between. And this love is not here to complete you, because, my dear, you are already complete. You've done the work. You've healed, you've grown, and now you're at a place where you know you are whole. This person coming into your life is not here to fix you or fill a gap. They're here to enhance your already incredible existence. They see you for who you truly are, and they will support you in your growth, in your dreams, and in your purpose. You'll no longer feel like you need to compromise yourself to make someone else happy. You'll be able to exist as your true self, knowing that you are loved unconditionally. This is where it gets powerful. You've worked so hard to heal from past wounds, from past heartbreaks. You've done the inner work to release the old patterns, the fears, and the limiting beliefs that have held you back. And now, this new love is coming in to align with that. It's calm, it's steady, and it's grounded in trust and respect. There won't be any need for drama, for games, or for endless confusion. This love will feel like a safe space where you can breathe, where you can just be, and where you can feel supported in all of your endeavors. Imagine being with someone who doesn't try to change you, but loves you for everything that you are. This is the kind of love you've been waiting for. It's not about fixing anything or waiting for perfection. It's about acceptance, growth, and mutual support. And here's the most beautiful part. You won't have to prove anything. You won't have to earn their love. It will be given freely, just as you give your love. I know that opening up to love again can feel daunting. After everything you've been through, the scars from the past might still feel fresh. But here's what I want you to remember. You are not the same person you were before. You've grown, and you've learned how to love yourself first. And that is the energy that's going to attract this perfect love into your life. You've outgrown the need to look for love to fill a void, and now you're in a space where love can come to you in its purest form. This love is coming because you're ready for it. You've created space in your life for it, and you've become the person who can fully receive it. It's not about searching for it or forcing it. It's about allowing it to flow naturally into your life, just like everything else that's meant for you. You've aligned with it, and now the universe is delivering. I also want you to take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Think about the person you were a year ago. How much have you changed? How much have you learned? How much stronger are you now, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? The person you are now is no longer seeking validation from others. You've learned to trust yourself, to believe in your worth, and to stand in your power. And that's why this love is coming to you at just the right time. You're in a space now where you no longer need love to define you. You are already whole, and this love is just a beautiful addition to the amazing life you're creating. You are attracting someone who will not hold you back, but will encourage you to keep moving forward. They'll help you rise higher, and together you'll create something even more beautiful. This love is going to show up at the exact right moment, when you least expect it, and when it does, it's going to feel like magic. It will be everything you need and more. The timing will be perfect, because the universe always knows when you're ready. So, take a deep breath and embrace the love that's coming. You've done the work, you've transformed, and now it's time to receive the love you deserve. Trust that everything is aligning for you. Trust that this love is already on its way, and trust that it will show up when the time is right. You are worthy of this love, and I'm so excited for you to experience it. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You know, a perfect life isn't one where nothing goes wrong. It's not one without heartache, struggle, or uncertainty. No, the most beautiful life is the one where someone knows, deeply and without question, that struggle is part of it all. Especially when that life carries the weight of incredible growth. Especially when that soul is destined to leave a mark. And that's why the universe brought you here today, because there's something you need to be reminded of. Something so close to you, so natural to your way of being, that it's easy to forget. You are a role model. Not the kind that demands attention or shouts from a podium. No, your influence runs deeper. You live in a way that others quietly observe, watching how you move through storms without bitterness, how you hold compassion even in moments that would harden most hearts. You walk with truth in your chest and humility in your hands, and it leaves an imprint, whether you notice it or not. There's a kind of magic in the way you carry yourself, a subtle but powerful message in how you live your truth. You've become someone that others look to, not because you pretend to have all the answers, but because you're not afraid to ask the real questions. You don't wear masks, you don't shrink, and you don't fake peace. You build it, brick by brick, in the middle of the chaos. Sometimes we think helping others always means stepping in, solving their problems, holding their pain like it's our own. But let me offer you this. Being the example is often the most sacred form of support. The way you rise, the way you continue, even when no one claps, even when no one sees the private battles, is what speaks loudest. The right people notice. The ones who are quietly searching for a way forward, they notice you. You are not here to carry the weight of everyone's healing. That was never the deal. You're here to walk your path with honesty, to trust your inner knowing, and in doing so, you naturally light the way for others. Like a lantern on a dark road, silent, unwavering, needed. And let's talk about gratitude, because it's not always loud either. True gratitude isn't just whispering thank you to the sky when things go well. It's waking up in the middle of a difficult season and saying, even this has value. It's holding the tension of the unknown and trusting that somehow it belongs. It's appreciating the quiet mornings, the small breakthroughs, the ordinary days that hold sacred meaning if you look closely enough. Gratitude is living truthfully. It's not always poetic. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's a deep breath after a long cry. Sometimes it's choosing not to explain yourself again and still showing up with love in your heart. When you choose to keep going, even with the weight of uncertainty on your shoulders, that is gratitude. That is grace in motion, and that is what makes you different. So let me ask you, have you noticed how your life has quietly become a source of strength for others? Have you felt how your presence brings a certain calm, even when your own waters are still settling? You are not just surviving. You're teaching others what survival looks like when it's touched by truth. You're showing them that it's possible to live a life rooted in compassion without losing yourself. That you can be gentle without being small. That you can be grateful without pretending everything is perfect. There's a certain quiet authority in you now. You may not have asked for it, but it's there. It's in the way you've kept walking when no one offered to carry you. It's in the way you chose truth over approval and peace over pretending. That kind of strength doesn't go unnoticed. Even when people can't put it into words, they feel it. They feel you. You've probably noticed something strange happen too. How people seem to open up around you. How they lean in just a little closer, not even knowing why. It's because there's something about your energy that feels safe, real, unfiltered. They see in you a glimpse of the person they wish they could become. And maybe they're not ready yet, but knowing that you exist makes it more possible for them. That's what I mean when I say you're a role model. You don't have to try to be one. You already are. You've been through enough to know that not everyone wants to be saved, and not everyone wants to grow. But the ones who are ready, they'll gravitate toward you. Not because you're trying to teach them anything, but because you are the teaching. Your life is the lesson. Your existence is the example. Not polished, not perfect, but real, aligned, and brave enough to keep evolving. You've discovered something rare, that helping doesn't always look like fixing. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is to trust them to go through what they need to go through. It's not abandonment, it's respect. It's knowing that we each have to carry our own pain at some point, not because we're alone, but because the process itself is sacred. And the truth is, had someone taken away all your pain, you wouldn't have found the kind of strength you now stand on. If they had rescued you in those dark nights, you might never have known the light that came from within. So how could you rob someone else of that same discovery? That's the wisdom in your compassion. It doesn't coddle, it empowers. Now you move differently, with trust, with grounded grace. You're no longer trying to control everything. You've learned how to dance with the unknown, and that too is a kind of leadership the world desperately needs. Because let's be real, people are tired of being told what to do. What they're craving is someone who shows them what's possible. Someone who embodies what it means to live with heart and not lose themselves in the process. That's you. And when I say you live in gratitude, I'm not talking about shallow affirmations or pretending to be thankful when you're really tired. I mean the kind of gratitude that's woven into your bones, the kind that looks at the mess and still finds meaning, that sees the delay, the heartbreak, the detour, and says, I trust this too. You've come to understand that gratitude isn't just about thanking the universe. It's about living in a way that says, I see the value in all of it. It's about showing up with your whole heart, even when you don't have all the answers. It's about walking into your day with integrity, even when no one is watching. That is sacred. That is rare. And that is why your presence has become a kind of quiet revolution. You're not just walking your path. You're redefining what the path looks like. You're reminding people that they don't have to betray themselves to be accepted. That truth, even when it costs you something, is always worth it. And most importantly, that life isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment. Living in tune with what feels right in your spirit, even if it makes no sense on paper. So keep going, my friend. Keep trusting. Keep living in a way that honors your intuition over ego, your compassion over performance, your authenticity over conformity. Because every time you choose your truth, you give someone else silent permission to choose theirs. And maybe that's your greatest gift. Not that you've helped so many people, but that you've shown them they could help themselves, that they were never broken, only buried. That healing doesn't always begin with a conversation. It often begins with a quiet moment of recognition. You're living proof that life doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. That pain isn't the end, it's a passage. That strength isn't loud, it's enduring. And that being yourself, truly and unapologetically, is the most generous thing you could ever offer this world. So walk forward, not because you owe anyone anything, but because this is your time. Your presence is no accident. You were meant to be seen. You were meant to inspire, not through force, but through truth. And the universe? It recognizes you. It always has. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There are certain phases in life where reality doesn't just shift. It rearranges itself beneath your feet without asking. You're not walking through a storm right now. The recent storm has passed. Now, you're walking through a recalibration so precise, it almost feels disorienting. Not because something is wrong, but because something has finally aligned. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were led here, quietly, intricately, through decisions that seemed small at the time. Through whispers you followed without fully knowing why. And now you find yourself here, on the edge of something unspoken, but deeply felt. It's not chaos. It's not confusion. It's clarity so new your body hasn't caught up yet. Your nervous system is still trying to make sense of this expansion. It doesn't know whether to brace or to exhale. And that's okay. You've been holding so much for so long that stillness can feel suspicious. Peace can feel like a setup, but it's not. It's real. It's yours. You're just not used to it lasting this long. And still, there's something else underneath, isn't there? You know that pressure you've been feeling lately? That anxiety that comes in like a wave you didn't see coming? It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because something massive is trying to be released from within you. What you're feeling is the ache of dormant potential. Potential that's been held back, locked away, paused for years. And now it's ready. But your body doesn't quite know what to do with it. Imagine a dam that's been holding back water for decades. That wall is strong, but behind it, that water has been pressing harder every year. Now picture the moment the gates finally open. That flow is intense, almost violent in its release. It can shake the dam itself. That's you. Your mind and body are trying to process an energetic upgrade so immense it almost doesn't make sense. You're not falling apart. You're adjusting. It may feel like a breakdown, but it's a breakthrough. So if you've been overwhelmed, tired, restless, even a little off balance, that kind of intensity is completely normal after a major transformation. You've felt it before, and now it's simply showing up again as your system catches up to the shift. You're becoming. And in this becoming, the best thing you can do is slow down. Be still. Take walks with your bare feet on the grass. Let your nervous system know you're safe. Let your body catch up with your soul. Meditate, breathe, put your hand over your heart and just remind yourself, I'm expanding. And yeah, the other thing that no one really warns you about? It's not just the energy that's shifting, it's your entire reality. You lived a certain way for years, maybe decades. You knew how to function in that version of yourself. But now that version is gone. And this new version, it's still settling in. So don't be hard on yourself if things feel weird right now. if going to the grocery store suddenly feels like a chore, if social gatherings drain you instead of energize you, if normal conversations feel heavy, you're not antisocial. You're not distant. You're just not willing to pretend anymore. The mask you once wore to get through the day, it doesn't fit. The version of you that used to smile to keep the peace, they've left the building. And what's left is truth, raw, real, radiant truth. And sometimes that truth doesn't know how to make small talk. But now you understand why you feel so much. Why everything feels like it matters more, even when it's small. You're sensitive not because you're weak, but because you're finally connected. Connected to who you really are. Connected to the energetic frequency you were always meant to walk in. And yeah, that kind of shift makes the world feel unfamiliar for a while. But don't worry, this awkwardness isn't permanent. You're just not who you used to be. And that means the world can't treat you the way it used to either. The old ways of operating, tolerating conversations that drain you, laughing at things that no longer resonate, forcing connections that quietly hollow you out, those things just don't work anymore. And honestly, that's a sign of deep alignment. You're not losing your spark. You're outgrowing the environments that once kept it dim. But here's what's interesting. This shift you're experiencing, it didn't just impact you, it exposed others. Quietly, completely. The way certain people have started to respond to your presence now, it says everything. People don't react to what's irrelevant. They react to what's undeniable. And right now, you're radiating something that can't be ignored, even by those who tried. You're the chapter they never prepared for, the plot twist they didn't see coming, the version of you that's no longer afraid to walk away, say less, or simply choose peace. That version shakes every false sense of control. They may try to play it cool, act unaffected, pretend the shift is in you, not them. But their energy has already confessed what their mouth won't. They're uncomfortable because you've become unshakable. It's subtle, but it's loud. The pause before they speak, the way they over-explain, the way they glance sideways when your name is mentioned. You don't need to confront it. You don't need to correct it. Just observe it. Every silent revelation is doing the work for you. And the beautiful thing is, you're not even trying to prove anything. You're just existing with clarity. And clarity is disruptive to those who survive off confusion. This isn't about revenge. It's not about making a point. It's about realizing you don't have to live on defense anymore. You're not auditioning for love, for respect, or for a place at anyone's table. And not everyone is meant to sit at this table with you. Not in this chapter. So if you've been wondering why certain people are acting distant, avoidant, awkward, or strangely performative all of a sudden, just know they're reacting to a truth they can't unsee. You've become the mirror they didn't ask for, the one that doesn't lie, the one that reflects what they buried. You didn't expose them, their own energy did. Let that be your peace. And still, here's the part I don't want you to miss. It's okay if this new reality still feels a bit lonely. It's okay if things you used to do effortlessly now take more from you than you expected. If chatting at a party feels like climbing a mountain. If even something as simple as shopping wears you out in ways that don't make sense. If your circle feels smaller and your words feel fewer. That's not regression, that's refinement. You're learning to hear yourself more clearly now. And in doing so, the noise of the world feels louder. Until it doesn't. You're in the space between the shedding and the settling, and it's sacred. Let yourself move slowly through it. Let yourself be awkward. Let the silence linger. Let the emotions rise without rushing to fix them. You're not breaking. You're calibrating to a life that fits. You're not meant to explain this process to everyone. Most won't understand. Not because they're bad people, but because they haven't had to unlearn what you've outgrown. And that's okay too. If you take nothing else from this moment, hear this. You were never behind. You were just buried under expectations that didn't belong to you. And now you're free. Not because someone gave you permission, but because you stopped asking for it. So breathe deeply. You're not just healing. You're returning to your center, to your voice, to your inner knowing. And anyone who can't meet you here, let them remain where they paused. You've got places to go that require the full version of you, not the edited one. You've done the heavy lifting, the unseen work, the silent release. Now, let your presence do what it was always meant to do. Shift rooms, open eyes, invite truth, not through force, but through being. And the best part? This is only the beginning of the most magnificent chapter yet. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You've arrived here not by chance, but through something deeper, something calling you back to your center. And right now, you're at a stage where your time is far too valuable to waste on arguing with someone who's chosen illusion over truth. Some people carry a storm within them, not a natural one, but a storm constructed from denial, blame shifting, and emotional disconnection. And if you've ever tried to love or reason with someone like that, you already know how exhausting it is. They don't just distort the truth. They rearrange your reality until you no longer trust it. They don't just deflect blame. They plant it in your hands and step away, watching you question how it got there. This isn't simply difficult behavior. This is a distortion field, one that confuses, depletes, and keeps you from the clarity you already carry within. So why do so many deeply kind, compassionate souls like you find themselves in relationships with those who can't take responsibility? Because you believe in healing. Because you hope that love can reach people where logic fails. Because your heart doesn't give up at the first sign of pain. But here's the twist. Narcissistic patterns don't respond to love. They feed off it. They don't soften when you offer kindness. They adjust their tactics. They sharpen their tools. And they often leave you wondering, was I the one who made this worse? Let's be clear. That doubt doesn't come from truth. It comes from manipulation. It's the residue of being tangled in someone else's refusal to face themselves. You might have had moments where you stood up calmly and clearly, expecting growth. Instead, you were met with sarcasm, with dismissals, with dramatic stories that re-centered them as the victim. Suddenly, you're not discussing their betrayal. You're defending yourself from accusations you didn't expect. They reframe the situation until you become the aggressor, the problem, the one who's too much. So how do you respond? Do you keep trying to explain yourself, hoping this time they'll understand? Do you dig deeper, thinking clarity will eventually win? My dear friend, clarity doesn't grow in poisoned soil. You can plant all the truth you want, but it will not take root where someone is committed to staying blind. And that's the hardest truth of all. Not that they can't change, but that they won't. Because for them, change would mean taking off a mask they've worn so long, they've convinced even themselves that it's their real face. Have you noticed how when you step back, the chaos quiets, but the guilt creeps in? That's not your guilt. That's the silence revealing what was never yours to carry. Sometimes the noise was just covering the truth. that your peace had been leaking through every crack in their denial. And here's what's rarely said. You are allowed to stop trying to fix what you've already realized is broken beyond repair. This is beyond your role, and that's where discernment steps in. You're not just called to love others. You're called to protect the heart that was placed inside you. Let me ask you, have you ever wondered why you feel more peace around certain people, even in silence, than you do around others, even when everything seems calm? That's your spirit recognizing alignment. When someone refuses to take accountability, they break the agreement that relationships require, a mutual commitment to truth. Without that, you're not in a relationship, you're in a performance. A scripted play where you keep rewriting your lines, hoping the ending changes. But the script was never yours to begin with. And now that you've seen the pattern for what it is, you're already stepping into something rare, clarity without conflict. That's not a common place to stand, but it's a powerful one. Because clarity, true clarity, doesn't come from getting louder or proving your side. It comes from stepping back far enough to see the shape of the illusion. You begin to see how their words are crafted not to communicate, but to confuse. How their apologies come not from remorse, but from necessity, to keep you from walking away, to reel you back in just enough to prolong the chaos. And every time you give them the benefit of the doubt, they weaponize your grace. But this isn't about bitterness. It's about recognition. It's about realizing that sometimes the most courageous act isn't confrontation. It's conservation. Saving your energy, guarding your peace, preserving the sacred space within you that was never meant to be tossed around in cycles of emotional debris. You weren't born to live in a storm disguised as a relationship. Some people won't understand your silence, your boundaries, your decision to disengage. That's okay. They don't have to understand. They don't live with the weight you've carried. The weight of being perpetually misunderstood, gaslit, or blamed for someone else's refusal to look inward. You do not owe them your peace as proof of your love. You do not owe them your exhaustion to prove your compassion. Let that sink in. If they cared about truth, they'd seek it. If they respected your perspective, they'd pause. But the pattern has shown itself. It's not changing because of one more conversation. It's not shifting because you found better words. Because the problem was never your clarity. It was their refusal to receive it. What if you were never meant to convince them? What if your role was never to change them, but to rise anyway? Because sometimes the universe doesn't clear the storm. It clears your path out of it. And that path doesn't look like victory in their eyes. It looks like distance, like quiet, like peace that doesn't beg to be understood. And to them, that's a threat. Because your peace removes the fuel they once thrived on, your attention. But when you stop feeding the fire, it dies out. And in that silence, you rediscover the most important voice of all, the one inside you, the one that always knew something wasn't right, the one that got quieter every time you were blamed for problems you didn't cause, the one that whispered, "You deserve better," even when you weren't ready to believe it. That voice is rising now, and with it comes something no narcissist can mimic, distort, or destroy: self-honesty. The deep, soul-grounded realization that you were never broken, just burdened. And now, you're not only allowed to let go, you're being called back to your inner sanctuary, called to guard what's holy in you, called to stop throwing your pearls into pits that only trample them. You're not abandoning anyone, you're realigning. Because sometimes, what feels like walking away is actually walking home. Home to your peace, home to your truth, home to a truth that says, you don't have to prove your worth to be loved. Let others call it weakness. You know it's strength. The kind of strength that knows when to speak and when to step aside. The kind of strength that doesn't waste itself proving a point that won't be heard. The kind of strength that has faced emotional warfare and chosen wisdom over war. And now, slowly, you're beginning to glow again. Not because that storm ended, but because you stopped standing in the rain hoping someone would hand you an umbrella. You built your own shelter. So, as you move forward, don't expect applause. Expect resistance. But let their silence, their spinning stories, their confusion be confirmation, not of who you are, but of who you've outgrown. And while they scramble to keep you in the cycle, you're already walking in a straighter, clearer line. One that leads you back to your own true center. And that's the true beginning. A life where your boundaries are seen as sacred, where your energy isn't spent explaining what you already know is true, where you no longer mistake emotional labor for love, where you can sit in stillness and hear nothing but peace. My dear friend, it's not your job to dismantle someone's delusion. And the moment you stopped explaining yourself to someone who never intended to understand you, you stepped into freedom. That's where you are now. Whether you realize it or not, you've already started walking. And the farther you go, the clearer it gets. Let this message be your mirror, not showing you what they fail to see, but what you've been all along, worthy, wise, and no longer available for emotional chaos. And if this message spoke to your spirit, let it remind you. Your peace isn't a prize to be earned. It's a promise that's already yours to claim. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Some messages find you like a whisper. Others arrive like a mirror. This one? It didn't come to convince you of anything. It came to confirm what you already know, but may have forgotten under the weight of being misunderstood for too long. You born a star. Not the kind that seeks attention or feeds off of being seen. You weren't obsessing over the spotlight, hoping someone would finally notice you. In fact, at some point, you stopped asking for it altogether. You realized, with my awareness, I could do it better than anyone. But I don't need to prove it. You were born unique, and that uniqueness didn't come easy. It came with people calling you strange. It came with moments where your silence in a loud room was mistaken for weakness. It came with you seeing life through a lens others didn't understand, and instead of asking why, they judged. You were mocked for thinking too deeply, underestimated for dreaming too boldly. But none of it changed what you carried, not even for a second. You didn't cave, you endured. And here's the thing, they never really saw you. Not the real you, because if they had, they would have realized you weren't trying to rebel. You were just trying to be. At some point, you made a quiet decision. I don't owe anyone an explanation. You stopped shaping your life around the comfort of others' opinions. You allowed yourself to be hopeful in a world that profits from fear. You allowed yourself to be creative, not for applause, not for income, but because it's how your soul breathes. You stopped to sniff a flower when others were sprinting toward one more dollar. You watched the sunrise without wondering what more productive thing you could be doing instead. You gave yourself permission to just exist, humbly, proudly, without justification. That's rare. And you know what else you learned? Knowledge isn't the same as awareness. You can read 1,000 books and still be disconnected from your own soul. You can repeat every self-help quote and still ignore the voice that's been quietly guiding you your whole life. You figured that out. You stopped chasing paths that weren't made for you. You stopped trying to measure your progress by standards that never resonated in the first place. Your soul knows the path, what it looks like, where it bends, why it's harder, why it's yours, and you've come to accept that fully. You didn't force yourself to stay positive when everything felt cruel or unfair. You didn't slap affirmations over heartbreak and pretend you were fine. You let yourself feel what was real. You didn't try to fix life. You allowed yourself to see it differently. And that changed everything. This isn't just a new perspective. This is a new way of being. You stopped needing to fit into systems, labels, or timelines. You're no longer burdened by the idea that you have to follow a certain structure or meet someone else's definition of success. You're discovering that the most beautiful kind of freedom is living without justification and loving yourself through it all. Remember those times you were at a party and everyone was complaining about surface-level problems? And you just nodded politely, even though inside you felt this deep truth that no one else was touching. Or the way you've always noticed something off about certain conversations, as if everyone's agreeing on something shallow just to avoid going deeper, and you're sitting there thinking, is this really all we're going to say about this? You weren't being distant. You were just awake. When others clung to the illusion because it felt safer than facing truth, you didn't. You stood in it, even when it made you feel alone. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you powerful. You didn't need permission to let go. You didn't even plan to do it. And without needing to announce it, you released it all. The pressure, the proving, the pretending. You've become the kind of soul that moves through the world gently, but leaves something lasting wherever you go. And maybe the most incredible part of all this is, you never had to shout to be heard. You don't fight to be seen. You don't chase meaning anymore, because the moment you let go, it started rising to meet you. You've become a reflection of something real in a world that's addicted to illusion. You don't pretend to have it all figured out, and that's exactly why people feel safe around you. Because you're not selling certainty, you're living truth, quietly, fully, authentically. The irony? Now that you've let go of needing to be understood, people are finally starting to understand. Not because you changed who you were, but because you stopped explaining. And now that you're no longer obsessed with having certain things by a certain time, everything is arriving with ease. Almost like the moment you stopped chasing, life started offering. You're teaching others, just by existing, that meaning doesn't always look like money, a partner, a career, or confidence. Sometimes it's all of those. Sometimes it's none. And sometimes it's something else entirely. Sometimes it looks like sitting in the park for no reason. Sometimes it's in the way you notice beauty others walk past. Sometimes it's in the moment you say no without guilt or yes without fear. You've realized that peace isn't the result of mastering life. It's the result of releasing the need to master it at all. There's no formula to your path. And now, finally, you've stopped pretending there needs to be one. This is more than growth. It's evolution. You're not just someone who got through things. You're someone who was transformed by them. And here's the beautiful twist. The world is beginning to notice. Not because you tried to be noticed, not because you forced it, but because people can't help but feel something when you're around. They don't always know what it is, but they feel it. It's in the way you speak with clarity. It's in the way you pause before you answer. It's in the way you make space for things others rush past. You're not loud, but your presence lingers. You don't demand attention, but somehow you hold it. You're not trying to impress anyone, but people find themselves impressed by how deeply you've come home to yourself. This is the kind of energy that shifts rooms, the kind that doesn't need a platform to be powerful. You born a star, not the kind that burns out chasing validation, the kind that holds steady in the sky while people navigate their way back to themselves. You're not trying to lead anyone. You're just not afraid to walk alone, and that's what makes people want to follow. You didn't do it for admiration. You didn't do it for applause. You did it because something deep inside you wouldn't let you settle for a life that didn't feel like yours. That's courage. That's alignment. That's real. So if things around you are starting to feel different, if people are acting surprised at how clear you've become, how calm you are, how grounded you feel, it's not a fluke. You didn't fake your way into this energy. You became it. You didn't ask to be an example, but you are. You're proof that it's possible to live a full, meaningful, wildly creative life without asking for permission. You are the kind of soul who turned survival into wisdom, pain into perspective, and now, without even trying, you're turning presence into power. Let that land. Let it be true. Because it's like finding an old photograph from years ago and for the first time seeing yourself clearly in it. Not just your face, but your essence. You were always becoming this, even back then. You just didn't have the words for it yet. You don't owe this world anything, but still, somehow, your presence is a gift. You didn't just survive. You didn't just evolve. You remembered. And now that you've remembered, the world won't ever be the same again. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there. Hello and welcome, my dear friend. I'm glad destiny brought you here today because this one is an important one. I want you to take a moment and think about the world around you. The way things seem to unfold with a certain ease for some people. They glide through tasks that you might struggle with, and yet it feels like no matter how hard you try, it's just not the same for you. But here's the thing, there's a reason for this. What others find easy, it's simply too normal for you. It's not a challenge, and you, my dear friend, are built for so much more than normal. Have you ever found yourself watching others breeze through routines, wondering why something so simple feels so draining for you? It's natural to feel this way, especially when you've always sensed you were wired differently. You might even question yourself, am I doing something wrong? Why don't these things feel natural to me like they do for everyone else? But it's not about lack of effort. It's not about ability. The truth is, you are craving something that challenges your soul in ways others may never understand. You're too powerful for the mundane, too extraordinary for the ordinary. The errands, the checklists, the repeated motions, they're not where your soul finds meaning. And so, they feel off. Not because you can't do them, but because they were never meant to define your path. And even when it feels like you're not making progress, let me gently remind you, you are rising. You're already doing incredible things, whether or not you realize it. You show up in quiet ways, in your thoughts, in your growth, in your resilience. Think of the times you've stepped into the unknown without clarity. The times you offered your heart to others when you barely had anything left for yourself. That is strength. That is power. But these things aren't always recognized, are they? Society doesn't always praise the quiet victories, the decision to keep going when you wanted to give up, the moment you chose hope when fear felt louder, but the universe sees them. And somewhere deep down, I know you do too. You might wonder, if I can't handle these simple things, How will I ever do the great ones? But you've got it all backwards. The truth is, those easy things feel misaligned because they're not written into your blueprint. You weren't born to copy and paste the script handed to you. You were born to rewrite it, to live with depth, with meaning, with purpose. And that means your definition of success, of ease, of progress, it was never going to look like everyone else's. Let that sink in. Because the big, soul-defining things, those are what you're here for. And while most would shy away from that kind of challenge, you were made for it. You were designed with the inner strength to rise to heights others can't even imagine. It's not that the small things are beneath you. It's that your soul is asking for something more. So if you've ever felt like you're falling behind because you're not living up to someone else's checklist, pause. Take a breath. Those checklists were never meant for you. You're measuring your magic with a ruler that was built for something else. Now, I want you to think about your big dreams, the ones you hold close but hesitate to speak aloud. Maybe they seem too far away. Maybe they don't fit the mold. But what if those dreams are closer than you think? What if they've been waiting for you to believe they're possible? Not because they're easy, but because you were built to rise to meet them. And you don't need to rush. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You simply need to remember that your soul doesn't resonate with the predictable. It craves depth, truth, and meaning. So let's talk about what that really means. What does it look like to live in alignment with your soul when your wiring doesn't match the conventional? It means your life will unfold differently. It means success might come in waves that don't always look like progress to others, but to you, they're everything. It means understanding that the moments of rest, of deep introspection, of emotional processing, those are not delays. They are sacred pauses, where your energy is recalibrating for something greater. And while others may thrive in repetition and routine, your soul lights up when you're creating, exploring, sensing, evolving. You've likely noticed this already. The spark you feel when you're doing something meaningful, not just productive. The ease that comes when you're immersed in something that matters to you. That's not accidental. That's alignment. Now, that doesn't mean life will always be easy. In fact, choosing your true path often comes with more inner work, more courage, more clarity. But here's what's different about you. You were made for this. Not everyone can walk this path. Not everyone is willing to ask the deeper questions, to challenge the status quo, to dismantle the expectations placed on them. But you are, and that's why you're here. You're here because the universe knows that your soul has the strength to break patterns, not just for yourself, but for those around you. That's the kind of power you hold, the kind that moves silently but leaves a lasting impact, the kind that transforms not just your world, but inspires others to question their own limits. So the next time you catch yourself feeling behind, because you're not ticking every box on someone else's list, remember, you're not behind, you're on a different map. One that doesn't look like theirs, because it was never supposed to. And if no one's told you this recently, I am so proud of the quiet work you've been doing, the healing, the inner conversations, the moments of growth that no one sees. That's where your power is being built. That's where the foundation for your future is being laid. You see, your greatness doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it comes in whispers, in subtle shifts. In the moment you say no to what no longer serves you, and yes to what truly does, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. And here's something else I want you to hold close. Your worth is not measured by what you achieve. It isn't found in accomplishments, recognition, or perfection. Your worth is not something to be earned. It is something to be remembered. You are worthy because you exist, because you breathe, because you carry a soul that was chosen for this lifetime, with all of its complexity and brilliance. So as you move forward from here, I want you to take this with you. You don't need to become someone else to be successful. You don't need to hustle your way into proving your worth. You simply need to be more of who you already are. That is your power. Let yourself redefine what success looks like. Let it look like peace, like joy, like feeling good in your own skin. Let it look like authenticity. Because when you live as you, fully and unapologetically, that's when everything starts to align. This life isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be real, to trust yourself, to allow your soul to lead. And when you do that, everything else begins to shift. The right people show up. The right opportunities unfold. The path ahead becomes clearer, not because the world changed, but because you did. And that's what makes you unstoppable. So, wherever you are in your process today, just know this: you are exactly where you're meant to be. You are not lost. You are not failing. You are unfolding, beautifully, powerfully, and with more grace than you give yourself credit for. Trust in that. And above all, trust in yourself. You've got this, my dear friend, and I'm so honored to walk this path beside you. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.